So I'm sure if you clicked on this video, you've already seen the Natlan trailer, and you might have been very pleased, or if you're like the rest of the community, you were like, oh, everyone looks like Farina, and not in her character design, but like right there. In fact, her blush is darker than her. I mean, that's probably a typical thing, to be honest. But anyways, yeah. So the characters are pale. And if they're not pale, they're barely not pale. Like Lois Griffin from Family Guy is actually darker than most of the Natlan characters that are coming out. How does that happen? I have no idea. If you've seen the first video I made on this topic a couple days ago, then you know that if you checked out the comments, there is a lot of people that showed their true colors on being racist and not being okay with brown people being in a Hoyoverse game, which is crazy to me because I guess I don't exist. I guess brown and black people just never seem to exist on planet Earth, even though, if I'm not mistaken, the first group of human beings came from Africa, and they most likely had melanin in them. A lot of melanin. Hi everybody, my name is Kudu. Welcome back to the channel. This is supposed to be a variety channel, but clearly at this point Genshin is taking over for now. Hopefully at least until Hoyoverse fix something with the characters. But in the first video, we talked about the second teaser trailer to come out for Natlan, which showed the 3 new characters coming out, 2 5-stars, 1 4-star, the Hydro 5-star girl, the Dendro 5-star guy, and the Geo 4-star girl. The problem with how they're presented in the trailer is that they're not dark skinned, like, at all. They like barely. The Hawaiian girl is probably like the closest thing we have to a dark skinned character in Natlan, which is crazy because one is Hawaiian, one is Mayan Mexican, the other one is Hopi or Hopi. And they look nothing like their people that they're supposed to represent. And I think it was crazy that in the comments people were like, oh my god, well, you know, it's okay to take the cultures of the people, it doesn't mean we have to make them look like it. But like, does that even make any sense? I'm gonna say the same thing that I said in the first video. You don't take a black person to represent a white person, you don't take a white person to represent a black person. Just like you don't take Farina Genshin Impact to represent the Pyro Archon, who is supposed to be some type of dark-skinned character. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the design of the Pyro Archon. I think she looks amazing. In fact, I'm a really big fan of the hair. It kind of looks like Sunset Shimmer from My Little Pony. Shout out if you know who that is. And overall, like, she looks like Kimiko, which is cool, but she's white. Like, why is she white? Why is she white? Natlan was supposed to be the region that was Latino based, or Latinx based, or Latin-E based, however the right way to say that version is. They were supposed to be Hispanic and Indigenous American, and also like South American and other parts. They were pretty much supposed to be dark-skinned. And what's crazy is that they added a character with Cappuccino toward the end of the trailer. Oran, I think I don't even think I'm saying his name right, because Hoyoverse apparently got his name wrong. He's inspired off of a deity who is, go figure, he's dark-skinned. And does he look dark-skinned in Genshin Impact? No, not at all. Not at all. But instead of going over hex codes like we did in the first video, make sure you check that one out. That was a very interesting TLDR. All the 3 new characters that were shown off, they all have hex codes that put them at the top of the whiteness light scale, and all the people they're supposed to represent are at the bottom of the light scale, which is more darker skinned people. But I thought it would be cool if we go through Twitter, everyone's favorite social media platform, or X, and just see how people are reacting to what's happened. Because some of these are kind of funny. Some of the memes that people are making are kind of funny. And I just think it's really cool that the community is coming around. Majority of the community is coming around, and even some big content creators are coming out to talk about how, like, yo, it is not cool that we have non-dark skinned characters representing dark skinned characters and culture vulturing their race in their designs. So let's get into that. All right, everybody, everyone's favorite Twitter, or everyone's favorite social media platform, we have Twitter. Now, this is kind of what I was talking about with this character right here. Apparently his name is supposed to be Olorun. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong once again. And he looks like that. He looks like that. And he's supposed to be the skin color of these 2 fine gentlemen over here. So how does that happen? I don't know. And by the way, shout out to Sucrose's voice actor who is also the voice actor of Venture from Overwatch. It is very cool of them to come out and support, even though they are in a kind of compromising position and I guess kind of conflicting interests. I'm not too sure, as they are a voice actor for Genshin Impact, a very popular character, Sucrose. I just think it's really cool that they decided to come out and give their take on it. We have the Pyro Archon, who, looks like Himiko, which is cool, but she looks like she's this color. She's this color. And look, white people, there's nothing wrong with you, okay? There's nothing wrong with being white, and there's nothing wrong with being a lighter skin tone. I just want to say that because there are people in the Puerto Rican uh, race and ethnicity who are lighter skin. Like my brother, for example, is full-blown Puerto Rican, but he's kind of the color shade of Farina, and that's okay. People like that exist. That is normal. The problem is that Genshin is not using that as an excuse. We know that that's not a reasonable excuse for Genshin to use. So anyone who's saying, oh, lighter skin colored versions of these people exist, yes, but that's not what we're saying. Anyways, the Pyro Archon is supposed to look very similar to this deity who is the fire god. Um, then we have Kinich, which is the 5-star Dendro boy down here. Also, shout out to these Twitter accounts for providing all this. Mayan Mexican character, and he is clearly not the color of someone who you would think is Mexican. Um, then we have Ice Spice. Uh, I don't know what's going on with that. There's a funny haha of Kave looking like the new Pyro Archon, which I think is pretty funny. Sunset Shimmer, again, the reference if you know it, you're a well one. And then this one had me laughing last night. I'm not gonna lie. I saw this and I was like, Koyo, please tell me you didn't use this as inspiration because right now it looks like that this is an inspiration for the Natlan characters because I don't know if people know this, but that is clearly not what Egyptian people looked like. Um, this is someone who said Natlan characters compared to the white part of their skin. This person is not white. I'm pretty sure this is a skin condition called vertigo, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember what the thing is called, but it pretty much just like different pigmentations of your skin. The white part of them, and I mean, Iasan, however you say her name. Uh, I mean, yeah, yeah. This person's not even white, and Genshin still managed to find a way to make them lighter than that. Crazy. This is someone. Shout out to them once again for making the 4-star Geo girl looking like how she's supposed to. Like, don't get me wrong. The designs of these characters look amazing. I'm actually a really big fan of the designs. The problem is that they look so much better when they're designed the way that they're supposed to be, or when people edit them the way they're supposed to be. It almost makes it seem like someone in Twitter mentioned this, like it almost makes it seem like look at that. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Look at that. Look how cool he looks when he's edited to be the way that he's supposed to look. Like, anyways, sorry, let's get back on topic. It almost seems like they were designed like these colors originally, or of these skin colors originally, and then like someone in big corporate Hoyo was just like, hey, no, we can't really be doing that here. Again, more fan recolors. Like, you can't sit there and tell me she does not look better like this, because this is how she's supposed to look. She's supposed to look dark skinned. She's supposed to be our dark skinned pyro queen, bro. And where is it? It's nowhere. She's pale white. She's the same skin color as Farina. Again, another perfect example of how much better the characters look when they are given their melanin and their skin color. Like this one, I thought this was genius. It fits her design because if you look at her tail, like her name, quick TLDR, I made a video on my separate channel about like details you missed on the Natlan trailer, but her name comes from the I believe the Mexican corn goddess or corn deity, which resembles like fertility and life and all this other stuff, and maize, and she has like a cheetah tail going on in her kit. It would have been really cool if they showed some diversity and representation, because people look like this is a normal human being. Like, she looks freaking awesome, and I it's so sad that like it takes the community, I'm happy that the community is doing this, but it takes the community to come out here and spend their time editing the characters to fit the way that they are supposed to look. This is generally how I felt during the Natlan preview. Yeah, that's kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie, I saw one earlier where it was like, if Cappuccino looks like this when he takes off his mask, yeah. But here's the Lois Griffin one. Shout out to this person for providing this picture. But here's the Lois Griffin image. Why is Lois Griffin, how do you say her name? Why is Lois a darker skin complexion than the whole entire Natlan class, or cast, excluding her? Like, I saw someone in the comment of my video the other day talk about the Lois Griffin chart, and I really didn't understand what they were saying, and now I understand it because this is kind of crazy. Here's someone who's 100% ethnically Chinese. Yeah, oh yeah, it was the same person. Republic of China passport, their skin color, brown people unite. I don't know why I raised my hands up. Yeah, okay, sorry, I'm being cringe. But yeah, the brown Chinese person is darker than, you know, the whole entire cast of Natlan, and the list goes on and on. Like, I just don't understand why they didn't go for this. There might be good news though. The good news is that there have been a lot of people using this, the survey tickets and using a lot of support tickets to reach out to Hoyo and let them know their actual feedback and concerns, because there is a feature in Genshin where you can leave your feedback. And I've seen a lot of good things from this, and I've seen a lot of bad things from this. The bad thing from this is like an automated or semi-automated message where someone, a Hoyoverse staff, responded to someone saying that, hey, you know, Genshin is a work of fiction and doesn't use real life examples or real life groups of people, which is clearly capped because Mondstadt, Germany, Liyue, China, Inazuma, Japan, Sumeru, Middle Eastern, India, etc., the different groups that Sumeru is supposed to represent, Fontaine, French people, literally French people, and then now with Natlan, with the people they're supposed to represent, and Shiznai is supposed to be Russia. Like, they clearly do use ethnic groups and cultures to represent the nations and the characters in their games. But like I said, there is other people who are showing good responses where Hoyoverse is saying like, hey, you know, we really appreciate you reaching out, you know, we're gonna pass this along, and you know, your feedback is very important to us. So what do I want out of this as someone who is brown and someone who is gonna see to the Pyro Archon if they happen to be dark-skinned queen? It would be amazing for Hoyo to show that they actually care, to show that they actually care. This isn't pampering, this isn't anything like that. I want to say again, if you're racist, please leave the video. There is no place for you here whatsoever. Go find love, please. Genshin isn't going to give you the love you need. Gambling isn't either. Please go find love and touch grass. Anyways, Hoyo has time, because if people on Twitter can edit the skin color of a character within an hour of a trailer coming out and it look really good, Hoyo can actually do it. They have the money to support a nuclear reactor. They can have enough money and time to change the colors of their cast coming out. That's really what I want. I think it would be absolutely amazing for them. They would get so much praise, and there's people in the comments that are like, oh my god, but they're a Chinese-based company and people in China are not going to be happy about this. Rah, take these dark skins out of my game. That might happen, but that's a vocal minority. Like, Genshin Impact is a worldwide phenomenon. There are so many people that are playing it outside of China. There are so, like, when I go on Twitch late at night, I see so many South American and Hispanic streamers streaming Genshin, and they're speaking full-blown Spanish, and I'm like, I would have never thought that this would be such a hit for Spanish-speaking audiences, but it is. It's a hit for literally any audience, and that's what's so great about this game, is that it incorporates so many different ethnic groups and different cultures that it does have nice representation for people who are white. And not only that, but like, you can't sit there and say that they're afraid of censorship in China and all that, because they literally use LGBTQ themes in their games. It's everywhere in their games. Honkai Impact 3rd, Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, and ZZZ. There are LGBTQ themes, and what's that word that E is vocal said? What's it called? Coded. There's a lot of LGBTQ coded stuff in a lot of the Hoyoverse games. So if they did actually care about censorship, they wouldn't make the stride to actually do that. But that's something that they I think they actually care about showing representation toward. So why isn't it the same for skin color? Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get out your guys' ear. This video went on for a lot longer than I wanted it to, but I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Please keep the comments civil. Please don't be racist. Like please, if you're gonna leave a racist comment, I'm gonna make fun of you for it, and then I might delete it in a little bit if it gets too bad. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. I'll see you guys in the next one, and bye bye.